Welcome back to another episode of What Are You Made Of with your boy, the unstoppable Mike C-Roc. You can be unstoppable too. All you got to do is go get the Rocket Fuel book and read it. Convert setbacks, become unstoppable. Forward written by Grant Cardone. He talks about what the Rocket Fuel law means to him and his business. Gave me chills when I read it, and you guys will love it when you get it. So go to MikeCroc.com/book, MikeCroc.com/book. Go get that book. And today I'm joined by my man, David Shands. I believe we met on Clubhouse, but I think that's where we met. David is an inspiration to anyone with an idea to create what doesn't yet exist. From employee to employer, David worked in various customer-oriented industries, all while building his own apparel business. He coined the phrase, "Sleep is for suckers," starting out with his wristbands and cool story, later evolving into a clothing line and a way of life. With entrepreneurship being his overarching area of expertise, David works to inspire and uplift many with his brand tagline, "If you lose sleep doing what you love, you will eventually live the dream that you only would have dreamt." Now, there's some more to the bio, but I'm going to let you get into that when we ask you this question, David. First of all, welcome to the show. And what are you made of?
I am made of all of God's goodness. You put a lot together. In that, I believe I'm made of a lot of inefficiencies. I'm made of a lot of insecurities. I'm made of a lot of fears. But knowing it and owning it allows me to move forward. You know what I mean? Like I know it's just I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together.
Who
But
does,
the,
man?
the things that I do have together, I put everything I got into it and we go further. So we own what we're not, and we realize what we are, and we just keep moving forward, brother.
I love it, man. I love it. So, people a lot of times see people from the outside. And so I created a saying. It's never as bad as you think it is, and it's never as good as others appear it to be or view it to be, right? So it's so true because every day I get up, I'm like, man, what do I got to do next? I'm not making it yet. I'm not there. Let's go. I got to pick it up. What do I got to do to get known? And everybody else tells me, C-Roc, you're killing it. You're killing it. I see you everywhere, and it's like, I shield that away, by the way, because I don't want to get complacent.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I appreciate it. I'll receive it. Thank you. And then I move on.
Or
But
arrogant. It can lead you into arrogance too.
yeah,
If you start
exactly.
believing, if you start believing the hype.
Yeah, you got to stay humble, man. I mean, it's, and the thing is that when do you ever make it anyway?
Right.
So let's get into your story, man. You can take us back as far back as diapers and, further up, whatever you want to do. But what's your story, man?
Um, I kind of take you back to like the life-changing moment. So I worked at the Cheesecake Factory for 6 years. And the last 2.5 years of that 6 year tenure at the Cheesecake Factory, I started my t-shirt business and I was able to kind of leave my job and be full-time entrepreneur. But it is the moment that it happened. My birthday was coming up, and I had been there for a few years now. And I'm at the bread station. I'll never forget it. I'm cutting bread for my tables, and young lady comes up to me. She says, "Hey, Dave, I know your birthday's coming up, man. What you going to do for your birthday?" I said, "I don't know. I haven't really thought about it." And she said, "Let's go back to the club that we went to last year. Everybody came out last time. Everybody put some money together. We got a bottle, and we just had a good time, man. Maybe let's go back to that club we went to and celebrate your birthday." I'm like, "Cool. Sounds good to me." So she says, "Okay, I'll just let everybody know this weekend is going down. We about to hang out at this club for your birthday." And she walks away, and I had a moment. I don't know if you ever watch a movie where there's a scene, there's an interaction, one person leaves, and then the outside gets dark, and there's like a spotlight on the character, and they start playing the slow music. And I felt like that happened to me because I started to think, I'm like, yo, I'm about to celebrate my birthday at the same place that I celebrated it last year. Nothing wrong with that. But I'm going to celebrate my birthday with the same people that I celebrated with last year, which again, nothing wrong with that. But I realized I'm working at the same job that I worked at last year. I got in the same car that I was driving last year, which I had to leave a bottle of water in the back seat because when it overheats, you got to pour it in the radiator.
Been
Got to.
there. Been there.
And yo, that same night I came home and I was getting off work and I take my tips, as a server, you get cash, you take
Mm-hmm.
your tips to the ATM. I put my card in, I put the money in, my tips from the night. The receipt showed that my balance was less than the amount that I put in, meaning my account was at negative.
Mm-hmm.
But I had like a deja vu moment of last year around the same time where the same thing happened to me. So I went home. I had to buy new clothes, obviously, for my birthday, celebrate my birthday, because my closet looked the same. My house, the place I live, everything was the same literally for 12 months of my life, meaning I could have been in a coma, been in a tragic accident, sit in a coma for 12 months, wake up 12 months later, and everything be exactly the same. But I wasn't in a coma. I was alive, but I did absolutely nothing in this 12-month period. And that was the moment my life changed.
How long ago was that?
That was 2010.
Okay, so 11 years ago.
2009, 2010. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think back where I was at that time. I remember. Yeah.
Man.
So yeah, and the thing is, you were spending more than you were making. That's the bottom line. But you also weren't making enough.
And at this time, I've been working a job for 3.5 years, and I still have less than the money that I need.
Yeah, yeah.
I made 90 something $1,000 in this 3-year period, and I'm still in the negative. Something had to change.
So what happened? What'd you do? What
Um,
action did you take?
One, I got really into personal development, just trying to figure out where, like, why this is happening to me, because I used to blame like outside factors. I used to blame my job. I used to blame my manager. I will blame my managers for putting me in the sections to not make money, which
Mm-hmm.
is the reason why I had a negative bank account. I'll blame my mom for like always wanting something and responsibilities, and I blame the electric company for making my bill too high. So I just got in this personal development journey and started to blame.
Hold up. I got to tell you something right there. What you did was you put yourself in a cage and you were controlled by everything you blamed. Am I
Oh,
right?
you talking good? You talking good, Mike?
Yep. Yep.
Explain that.
Yeah. So basically, you weren't taking responsibility,
Mhm.
and when you don't take responsibility, to the degree you give up responsibility, you give up control. And whatever you give up control to and responsibility to owns you. You become prisoner. And I've been there, man. I was in shackles, like in a cage, man, like a cocoon or something. I let all these people, because it was my fault. I was
That
blaming
you built
everybody.
yourself. It's like, yo,
Yeah,
and you put like a bar here, and then a bar here, then a bar here, and
yeah.
all around you, and then you blame. Then you can't figure out why you're in a cage.
It's a very simple philosophy. Take 100% ownership of everything. If somebody rear ends you, you should have left earlier. I mean, like, don't take responsibility if somebody kills somebody. You didn't kill it, obviously the law stuff, but I'm talking about everyday life. That's changed everything for me, and that's what you did. It sounds like.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
So you got into personal development, and then what? What happened from
Yeah,
there?
I got into personal development. Then, it's a long story short, I started this t-shirt brand called Sleep is for Suckers, geared towards entrepreneurship and people that lose sleep doing what they love. So all of our shirts have a positive work ethic feel to it. And I didn't come from a motivational position of I'm trying to coach other people. I built the brand because I was asleep. I felt like I was asleep for 12 months. So I built the brand to inspire me and anybody like me. So my position wasn't if you if you wear this brand, you'll be successful. I'm teaching people how to become successful. I'm saying, yo, I'm wearing this because I feel like we're in a position where we gotta wake up and I'm on the grind. Let me show you guys. I'm gonna build a dream right before your eyes.
I love it.
Bought into
I
it.
love it.
They say, yo, I'm in it with you. You know what I mean? You know, some people they start a business and they're like this, they claim themselves to be the guru. I'm like, no, guys, listen, I'm just as messed up as all y'all.
Yeah.
But I believe if you lose sleep doing what you love, you'll eventually live the dream that you only would have dreamt.
Love it, man. And the other thing is, you were in a subconscious sleep your whole life, not your whole life, but like up until that point was what you're saying. So it's not just not sleeping 7, 8 hours a day. The other thing I see what you're saying here is that you were in a subconscious trance, just going about your day, drifting, roaming around wherever the wind blows with no intentional purpose, right?
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
even
it, man.
know. Like, I didn't know you're supposed to have more money than you spend.
Yeah, yeah.
You read a book or listen to an audio and you realize, oh wow, you're at most people don't have 1,000 saved. You're supposed to have 1,000. But if someone asked me for, like, say one of my cousins asked me for something in a store, my reply would be, now you know we can't afford that. Because I would go to a store with my mom and she'll say, you know we can't afford that.
Yep.
Meaning in my head, I created normalcy of, you can't afford that. What do you mean? Do I have a credit card? You know I don't got good. Black people, you know we don't got good credit. These are the things that that were
Yeah.
ingrained in my brain that
Yeah.
I didn't even realize I didn't
Belief.
realize it was a problem. Sleep. I was asleep.
Yep. Yep. I love it. And so after you started doing some personal development and started the clothing brand, tell us the story about how that came about and the setbacks that you had with that to get to where you are now with it.
Oh, yeah, man. So all throughout my life, I was start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, and it, I had to come to the realization that if I'm ever going to be successful, I'm gonna have to stick to something.
Mm-hmm.
So I told myself I'm gonna stop chasing shiny things, and I'm just gonna focus on building this t-shirt brand. But another part was I had to really know who I was because I can't chase being somebody else. And I knew at this point I am super lazy. I am not the get up grind. I'm just not gonna do it. So what I told myself was, well, and this was after a conversation I had with my friend. He was a bartender, and I came into the Cheesecake Factory on my day off, and he was working. And I don't know how we got on the conversation, but he said, "Man, even on my off days, man, I got to make $100. I got to figure out a way to make $100." I said, "Bang, ooh, got it." Light bulb goes off. That's how I'm going to build my t-shirt brand. I'm only going to focus on building the brand on my off days. So I adopted this philosophy called $100 off days, and it's in my book. $100 off days, where my goal is to make $100 on each off day, because I know I'm lazy. I know I'm not going to grind 7 days a week, not at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So I told my boy, like, yo, here's the plan. Every off day is where I'm going to really, really work on the business. Everything else comes is extra. But my off day, I'm going to make $100. I got 2 off days a week. What happened was my boy was like, no, you got to grind. You got to really, really work. I'm like, that ain't me. I can only live in my truth. So at this point, I know I can grind for 1, 2 strong days. So I started making $100 on my off days, meaning selling $25 t-shirts. I sell 4 shirts. That's my goal. But I started making $200 a week, which is $800 a month, which most entrepreneurs never make a consistent $800 a month on 2 off days. But what happened was I got used to that, and I called my manager like, hey, do me a favor. I need 3 days off. And if I have to work a double on one of the days that I'm working to make up the shifts, I'm cool with that. But I need the off day, because I remember thinking, if I can make $200 on 2 off days, if I had 3 off days, I can make $300, which would be $1,200 a month. And literally, that's how I built my business, going from 5 days working, 2 days off, 3 days off, 4 days working. Then I went down to 4 days off and 3 days working. And I was able to transition out of my job based on knowing myself. Yeah. So
That's
I
where that's your main flow of income right now is the t-shirt, the apparel.
no, not anymore. I don't really focus on the t-shirt brand like that anymore. We have a kiosk in the mall, and we sell online, things of that nature, but I'm more into community building space. So because of I remember where I was as an entrepreneur, my major thing is, well, I do a lot. I do a lot, but I'll talk about one major thing. The morning meetup. It's a community of entrepreneurs from all across the country. We literally have hundreds of entrepreneurs that jump on a Zoom call every single day, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 a.m. every morning. And we're teaching different principles of entrepreneurship. So we have a monthly theme, and then every call throughout the week supports the theme of the particular month. So we have these topics. I bring in millionaires, multi-millionaires, super successful people to be speakers. And it's literally every single day, because I remember working at the Cheesecake Factory, trying to bridge the gap between
Yeah.
my job and my dream. And the biggest thing that helped me was being in an environment where everybody was going towards the same goal. So we created this community, and literally about 1,000 people in the program, and consistently 300 people are joining every single day.
And was that a free? community, or is it a monthly subscription, or how's that work?
It's a monthly subscription, so you can test it out for $1 for 7 days, and then it's $79 a month after that.
And then how can my listeners get involved with that if they want to?
I'll go to themorningmeetup.com, themorningmeetup.com. And
All right.
I'm literally on there every day.
All right. Yeah, guys, go support David with that, man. If you guys want to wake up and get started with your day, 9 a.m. Eastern time or
Eastern, yeah.
9 a.m. Eastern, man. Themorningmeetup.com. Go help him out, man. Cause you'll get in there and then you'll get helped out.
And
So
what's crazy is, so actually I have it right here. The one thing, like you read
yeah,
this?
yeah.
So this is our third book for the year. We read a book every single day together. So from 8 to 8:15, we're discussing the chapter that we read. So we read one chapter every single day. Literally, we got hundreds of people that have read 3 books this year that have never haven't read.
Wow, love that.
So
love that, man.
Chapter by chapter, piece by piece, and we discuss. It's amazing.
So the funny thing about this is, while you were saying you were lazy, I was thinking to myself, I talked to Jeff Woods, who worked for Gary Keller, and the One Thing coaching company. That's what Jeff Woods does. And Jeff was telling me that the biggest thing he learned from Gary, who's a billionaire, right? That all you got to do is you get a vision, and then you get somebody to implement your vision. And the billionaires do not work like doing the stuff. They visualize and delegate, and they're masters at that. And that I was getting ready to bring that up, and then you bring the one thing up. I'm like,
hey, if you can connect me with him too, I would love to have him as a guest on the call. That would be super powerful.
Yeah, I can go through Jeff first and see from there. I don't know. I don't know.
I would have Jeff. I mean,
yeah. I can.
Jeff, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I can take care of that. I'll get Jeff on the call. Just don't let me forget, because I'll hook it up. I got his connection and all that. All right. So the other question I had for you then. All right. So from there, like, are you doing anything with that morning thing where you're doing any upsells or to help people go further with you and engage with you further?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I'm doing a boot camp. So every couple of months, I do a content creation boot camp where I'm teaching people how to paint these pictures online for their audience. And we have a conference coming up. And my goal is, here's my ultimate goal. And I was actually telling them this morning, I don't ever want to do an event and have to run ads. I would 100% be okay doing an event and it's only our community.
Absolutely, baby.
We will soon have 10,000 people a part of this program. And we are going to feed our community. It's going to continue to grow. It's people from all walks of life, people from all across the country. So we want to build our own ecosystem where we grow together, where I don't have to market outside of the family.
Yeah, it's a network. It's like network marketing. I mean, it works, right? So let me ask you this though: how long have you had the morning meetup going?
About 3 years now.
Okay, when you first started, right? Did you charge, or was it free just to get people in, or how did you start it?
So at first, before I started it, I did a call every single Monday night at midnight for 2 years for free. Anybody could join. 2 years, every Monday, 104 calls straight.
What, on a Zoom, or what was that on?
It was actually a conference call. It was a conference
okay.
call.
That's way back.
Way back, man. And I actually, and we were having it'd be hundreds of people that are joining these calls, 400 or 500 people. And I decided to turn it into a coaching program where I was going to monetize it. And we had about 8 people part of the program when we launched it. And I think it was like $125 a month. And then that grew, and we've adjusted the business model a couple times over a few years, and now we're locked in.
So when you launched that morning show, though, the first morning show, how many people did you have on it? Do you remember?
Oh, well, it wasn't even in the morning. It was in the evening. Again, we went through a whole bunch of innovations, but again, it was 8 people. 8 people signed.
Started 8 and then just start building from there.
Yeah, absolutely. I did this free call for 2 years, and there's a couple hundred people that are super consistent. And I'm like, all right, I know if I go deeper and I start like coaching and teaching, we'll have at least 100, 200 people. You know what I mean? Like, I've been feeding y'all for years.
Yep.
But we literally had 8. But what happened was, I realized that if you give people something long enough that they don't have to work for, they'll never want to pay for it.
Yeah.
It took a little while to build it. We were doing like Monday night and Wednesday night and Friday night calls. Fast forward, um, I realized me personally, I was in a, I don't want to be too long. Um, One day I was like, yo, I realized that I was waking up at like 10:30, 11 o'clock every day. Okay. And I said to myself, I want to wake up a little earlier. And I told the people in the community, at this point, we had maybe like 60, 70 people. And I was like, yo, let's jump on a call tomorrow morning at 9:15. And they thought it was like, oh, it's just extra benefit for the call. I'm like, yo, really, I just want to wake up earlier. And if I have something, a
Keep you
responsibility, I'll
accountable.
wake up.
Yeah.
So
Gotcha.
we got on the call and it was amazing. Great way to start the day. And then I was like, yo, let's do it again tomorrow. And let's do it again tomorrow. We just never stopped. Then we pushed it
Gotcha.
back from 9:15 to 8:15 because I wanted to get up earlier.
Yeah.
I wanted to create that routine. And it's crazy. Now I'm up at 6:30, 7 o'clock every single morning, which still isn't super early.
No, but a lot
Better
earlier
than
than 9
11,
and 10. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
better than 11.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
man, I'm telling you, this community has been a personal development journey for me. And it's
I
just
love it, man. I'm actually, I got a call on Monday evenings called Rocket Fuel Coaching Call, and we're just started it. Like we're 2 weeks into it. I did one last year before COVID and had a great community, and it just, the whole thing messed up. Everybody's giving shit away for free, and now I'm getting back into it. But I'm gonna do masterminds, like dream masterminds in like awesome destinations, and even if it's 20 people that go to those, like 5 to 10 grand a pop, it pays for their trip and everything, and just really do it up. But I'm getting into it now. But I wanted to ask you a question with your connection with Grant. I saw your interview with him inside the studio next to the gorilla.
Yeah.
So what happened with that? How did you get in there to do that? I interviewed him, by the way, and he was sitting in front of that, but it was on Zoom. And I'm tight with them guys. I mean, those are my people. I'm a mentor. I'm a mentee, and I'm a licensee and all that. And he wrote the forward for my book. But I saw that though. So how did that all transpire?
We was on Clubhouse and we was just talking real good on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And a couple of my friends was in there, and my boy Nehemiah Davis, he was like, "Hey, Greg, you need to be on Davis' podcast." And Greg was like, "All right." And I was like, "Oh crap!" So literally, it was being prepared, and I've been doing shows consistently, and views are growing, and people will co-sign it and reach out to his assistant and set it up. I say, "Yo, I'll fly out there." So I flew from Atlanta to Miami, and we did the interview.
Love it, man. And then do you know Spec and CEO Maddie
Yeah, yeah,
CEO?
my God.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah.
They were all in the room too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I thought so because I saw them over there, and I interviewed Spec maybe a month ago.
Oh, word.
So,
Nice.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey originally, but I've been in Atlanta most of my life. So yeah, I live in
Gotcha.
Atlanta.
I got you. Okay, I'm up in Maryland. So,
Oh,
but yeah, man. So listen, before I go into the last final question, I want to ask you how my audience can reach you and connect with you,
oh,
besides that
absolutely.
one website, but like social media handles or whatever.
Yeah. Follow me on Instagram at Sleep is for Suckers with a number four, SLEEPIS, the number four, SUCKERS. Follow me on Sleep is for at Sleep is for Suckers on Instagram. The Social Proof Podcast. I'm really only focused on two things: Social Proof Podcast, just making sure we are bringing the most amazing people to come in, and we just extract their story. And the Morning Meetup, themorningmeetup.com.
Let's go. And am I on that podcast yet? Am I scheduled?
We need, come on, pull
Come
up.
on, man. You got to find a spot
All
for
of my
me.
joints are in person. Pull up.
Hey, listen, man. I'm spontaneous as hell. I'll fly down, but look, hey, I'll light that audience up. I'll tell you that right now. I don't know if you ever see me be interviewed, but Grant's got a lot of energy, but yeah, I'm a little younger than him, so
Mike,
uh,
I'm ready for the work, brother.
let's go.
You've
So,
definitely your
fi-
audience. Yeah.
final question. Final question. The rocket fuel concept is to turn all setbacks, anything that would normally slow people down, or set them back, or discourage, whatever it is, convert it into rocket fuel so they blast off from their original position, way past their competition. There's more to it. I wrote it in the book Rocket Fuel, but I want to hear what that rocket fuel concept or law means to you.
Oh, you sell your problems. People buy problems. So whatever you're going through, if you can get on the other side of it, people will buy it. So what I did was in my book, I just packaged up all my failures, all my faults, everything that was going wrong. I was able to get over that. I put it in a book, and now I sell all my problems for $20 a piece. People come into my program not because I'm so amazing, but because I went through what you went through. So I understand anything, and you can relate to this too, Mike. Anything negative that happens, it ultimately becomes a story that we are going to tell somebody, and someone's going to pay me to jump on stage and tell you what I went through. So if you're stockpiling all of these negative experiences and you're in a really, really bad place, if you get on the other side of it, there is somebody that will pay you for that experience.
Yeah, baby. Exactly. Well said. I love it. So what's your book's called? Your book called?
Dreams are built overnight.
Dreams are built overnight.
Dreams
Okay.
are built overnight.
Okay. Where can we find that before we go? Because I want to make sure people support you on that too.
On Amazon, you can go to Amazon, just type in Dreams Are Built Overnight or David Shands, and you can pick it up.
All right, let's go, guys. Go support David Shands, man. He's my friend now and a part of the Rocket Fuel community now. And I'm going to see if I can't get into that morning call with him too and light them up. So anyway, hey, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you, David, for being here. I appreciate all of you guys. Keep going, subscribing to the podcast on your favorite podcast platform. If you like to watch these, you can watch it on the YouTube channel, Mike C-Roc Ciorrocco, and go get that Rocket Fuel book, man. Let's go. Become unstoppable. Until next time, why don't you be unstoppable?